all we can ask.
Sometimes,
Apologies for the
yes.
lateness. We were, in fact, sitting here on time to start the pre show this week, and
Yeah.
then my microphone was just buzzing relentlessly, and we finally figured out we think it was picking up the sound of my lights.
Isn't that weird? It's so
What are you gonna do?
your mic, like we don't have a lot of good tech, but we have been slowly upgrading to our viewers. And this is not me talking to Aaron here, but like we
Yeah.
have good microphones. We have good Yeti mics, and yeah, yours was picking up super sensitive. The I don't like if people remember the good old days. You can hear your lights when you turn them on. Like you can hear the electricity. You can,
Yeah.
and some people still can, and they can feel it. But yeah, it's for whatever reason, Aaron's mic was picking up something, and I could hear it, and I was like, what is happening here?"
Yeah. You know, it's funny. It's very, it's a trait of a lot of neurodivergent people that they can hear electricity more easily than neurotypical people can. And one time I was at a family dinner and my parents have a light on a dimmer switch and it was buzzing and it was driving me nuts. And so I finally got up and adjusted it just a hair and it stopped. And my sister visibly relaxed. And my parents were just like, what just happened? Oh, now you're frozen. Oh no. So frozen. Is it me? Or is it you? I'm gonna have to just keep talking because I can't tell. Oh, it's Sean. We lost Sean. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. The other thing we were talking about just before this call began was the fact that I am currently making arrangements to. Oh, here's Sean. Hold on. Hello, and you're live in studio. What's your name, caller? Yeah. Not if the router's gone. I don't know either. But last time it resolved, right? Yeah. Try it. All right. Well, bye. All right. Yeah, we are, as some of you may be, dealing with a lot of weather right now and flooding. So thankfully, my basement is dry. I believe Sean's must be dry, or he would have mentioned it by now. But a friend of mine is not. And so after recording today, I'm going to be going off to pick up some supplies for her because North Bay is full out of them. They are in quite a state. Whether the weather has to do with Sean's internet or not, we aren't sure, but certainly he is in an area that is prone to flooding as well, so there might be some widespread problems around there. He's going to try to join from his phone. Until then, you're stuck with me. Oh, he's having to download the app. There we go. So, what we're planning to talk about today in the episode is how to get started on the right foot this spring. And we're going to go through all of the steps that are going to help you have the best year you possibly can. I was excited to start on some of these things myself this week. The absolutely sodden ground is putting a bit of a delay on that. Here he is. Hello, Crowboy. Oh, my
Oh, I'm
studio
back.
is messing up.
No, it's on. Is it working? Can you hear
There we
me? Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so for future reference, I'm also downloading their app so that hopefully in the future I could, if worst comes to worst, I can always use my data, which is fine. I'm not gonna flicker with any of the settings and echo cancellation or anything like that. And I hope that this doesn't last for long. I can't even. I don't know. Like, can I blame the weather? Because by sheer
That's what
coincidence,
I
this
was
is also
wondering.
right. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
anymore. Like, this is so sad and pathetic, and I'm wondering when am I getting my upgrade? It's
Right?
I don't want to harass
Not
them too
this
much
week with
though.
the ground so wet. How's your basement?
So that's the thing with all of this flooding, and it has happened to us in the past, and we had the flood warning, and then last year was a bad winter, bad spring as well in town. I took precautionary measures. I was on top of it. I was watching my spot between me and my neighbor where, we've had some issues and they've been doing some things even this year that I don't appreciate, but I've been on top of it and I'm not asking permission. I'm just fixing the problem. Like, I don't
Right.
care. I'm going to fix it. So, I shoved a tube, a pipe through the drainage because instead of having a proper culvert drainage, they just had a big O, but it's ridged. And so any debris that flows through it,
Yeah.
sticks, sawdust, gravel, all that sand and crap when they blew their snow onto gets stuck in there. And so I just shoved a tube and then I swirled it around, and all of this heavy water pressure just flows through. You know what came out? A freaking potato.
A potato?
You can't tell me that's not intentional or ignorant. Like, because they started up the kitchen again.
Right. I mean, I, I'm not going to assume intentional. Oh, you freeze again? You're looking pretty frozen. This might be a rough day, folks. Which is a shame because Sean was going to give me advice for my friend who's dealing with flooding on how to mitigate the problem before the next wave of rain comes because we are expecting a lot more rain, which is a scary thought given how high things already are. I grew up in North Bay and I saw a photo on a news story of people canoeing in the parking lot of Memorial Gardens, which is the skating rink there. And that's not supposed to happen. That means Chippewa Creek has flooded its banks. And I thought, oh no, I know people in that neighborhood. And yeah, it's a mess. So Sean will hopefully try joining us from the app in a moment. I wonder what else is newsy right now. Well, this morning I went around looking at all of my baby trees that I've planted over the last few years, and that was a sad experience too. I knew when we got the first snowfall this year, it was heavy, it had laid them down, and I started digging them out, but then I thought, ooh, what if I'm just exposing them to the deer? Maybe I'd better leave them under the snow. Maybe they'll be safer. You know, they're young, they're whippy. They can just stay curved in it like that. I wish I had pulled more of them out because there is so much breakage and a lot of it is so low to the ground. I think most of them will put out new growth, but this just keeps happening. We keep getting those really heavy, wet snowfalls early in the winter. And you're used to having snow that falls and then melts and then falls and then melts. And that didn't happen this year or last year. We got a big, wet, heavy snowfall and it stuck. And I wasn't prepared. I had a lot of garden supplies left out. I had a lot of tasks I hadn't done yet because I was really exhausted this fall. And I just expected to have more time and I didn't. So there's a lesson in there. Don't trust climate change to come through for you in milder winters because it doesn't always happen. Which really, you would you'd wish that with all of the harm it's bringing, it could at least be consistent in the milder winters that it brings. But no, I say that, but I'm really glad that we had a proper winter this year because it will help to control the pest population. What happens when we don't get the deep freezes that we're supposed to is that all of the larvae and, oh, what's the word I want? Larvae and pupa of the insects that are overwintering, the ones that aren't supposed to live here, have a chance to live through the winter, and that's when we get pest explosions and, species creeping north that didn't used to live here. So a good proper cold winter will kill those off, and I am grateful. Maybe we'll have fewer Japanese beetles this year. I don't know. I don't know if their spread is related to milder weather or just they're, you know, they're here and so they're spreading. It could be that they are adapted to cold weather anyway. And he comes. Oh, there he is. Hello. I've been talking about winter killing off my trees again, but hopefully also killing off some pests.
Oh yeah, how are your trees doing?
So broken. So
Really?
broken. You know how
Which
last year
ones?
was bad with breakage? This year was
I mean,
worse.
well, we had a frost last year, a big ice thing, like a late frost. What's happening this year?
Um, it's my baby trees, and
Ooh,
the big heavy snowfall first thing in the season that didn't melt. They
yeah,
just got knocked
it's a lot of
over and
weight.
flattened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What trees were they?
Oh, a mix of things. Haskap, serviceberry, cherry,
Not the
the
serviceberry.
apples, the serviceberry. It Now, a lot of these are like splintered but not detached. And so
Okay.
I know they have a chance of healing. They have buds even on the broken branches. I do think it's not great in terms of the strength of the overall tree.
Uh, I have a good suggestion. How big are these? How thick in diameter are these branches? A pinky, a thumb,
Tiny,
a whole.
tiny,
Can we
less
air
than my
layer
pinky.
those? You said they're broken but not ripped off. So I have air layering pods. It's just like a circle that clips and we can air layer. So we can straighten it out. It's already got buds on it and we can try this and propagate extras. It's I'm gonna do that
So
anyway. I mean, I might do it with yours.
I do, yes, we can do some of that. These are the main trunks of my trees. So like,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. I'm not talking about grown-up trees. I'm talking about
yeah.
babies.
Well, we
So
can
I would
save them.
like to splint
We
some
could
of
do
them.
it. Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah,
We can do it. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
in better news, I left
Hmm.
like 9 or 13 little pots of my propagations from last year sitting on my potting bench all winter.
Hmm.
And you would think, highly exposed little pots, those are going to die. Nope, they all have buds.
Excellent. Depends on what they were, but they probably enjoyed that, believe it or not. That's good.
Yeah,
I at the end of fall because I started doing living propagations, and unfortunately I did that in the late summer, early fall, so they didn't all get a chance to fully, anchor themselves in throughout the spring. So they just had the fall season to sort of adapt. They didn't all have roots yet, but they started to grow. So I have like the willow walls and then some other propagations and some deep cell trays, some dogwoods and other stuff. I'm watching them very carefully to see what's waking up and what's not. Some of them have
yeah,
roots, some of them don't. Um, but for example, I have one big tree pot, like the whatever 20-gallon pot, and I just shoved a bunch of dogwood sticks in there. They're beautiful. They retain their full color. I love dogwoods for their winter interest, especially the vibrant red ones.
yeah.
But they're there. They're waking up. They still have buds on them, and they don't have roots yet. But they're sitting in potting soil in a pot, and it's super saturated. So with this warm weather and heavy rain, I'm hoping that they wake up from the top and the bottom, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm mostly excited for what I really want to do this year is more grafting. So I
Yeah.
need to find myself a proper grafting pruner thing that cuts the notch out of right. Otherwise, I can do it myself, and that's fine. But I was hoping to get the puzzle piece that kind of locks it into place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to go back to what you were asking before. You were talking about flooding and what I was doing. So
Yeah.
I've preemptively been keeping an eye on my spot between me and the neighbors. That's kind of been an ongoing issue, but I'm staying on top of it. Nothing from the all of the exits, nothing is backing up, nothing's overflowing. So that's good. And then preemptively, I'm making sure that everything that flows into my house is not going directly into the house. So as much as there should already be proper drainage around the foundation of the building,
Yeah.
I want that's several feet down. I want to block the surface. So even though the soil is completely saturated and the water will slowly seep into that area, I wanted to prevent more water from getting in. So I just dug a trench around my driveway, for example, which blocks off the south side, and that's also where most of the slope is coming in. And that trench redirects to the gutter in the front and then the ditch in the other side.
Yeah.
And then I'm mostly just keeping an eye on um, the base of the foundation to see if I see the bricks start to get saturated upwards a little bit. Like if it's so saturated that it's soaking up through osmosis,
Yeah.
or capillary action. Osmosis is not right. You know what I meant.
Thank you.
I should use the right words though. But yeah, that's preventative measuring and yeah, as much as you can put in all the right drainage and around the foundation, you can do everything right. You can have it elevated. You can do all that stuff. If there's enough water, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
so where are the
Yeah.
gutters? Do they drain outwards or do they just go straight off the side of the building? You know, it's yeah. So
Yeah.
if they like, I don't have a sump pump or anything, but I'm watching the downspout. It's just the water is just sitting there level because it's not going anywhere, but it's not popping backwards, which is good. And then the foundation, I'm just keeping an eye on that. But otherwise, when you're gonna go, you said you were gonna go help a friend. Um, Honestly, digging trenches sounds redundant, but it's all that surface water that has nowhere to go. It's not going down, it's
Yeah.
just flowing.
Yeah.
So it's
I'll see if there's anywhere viable to dig. They've got, postage stamp downtown property with a lot of paving around it.
oh oh wait, was is this a man?
Oh, now you're frozen. Come back to me. Come back, Sean. Well, let's hope he comes back. What a day. We are winding down toward our time in any case. If you've stuck it out this long, thank you for doing that. We we live in hope of these problems being resolved in future. Oh, here's a message. Oh, he gives up. Well, friends, it might be a short one today. But thank you for joining us. We hope that you yourselves are staying dry. If you have questions about how to manage flooding in your yard and your home, you can go ahead and message us on social media, especially pop into our Discord. It's really been waking up for spring. I've been Erin, he's been Sean.